For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. Psalm 75, verse 6. God has just forbidden the wicked from lifting their horns. Now the psalmist explains why that prohibition carries such weight. The wicked lift their horns because they believe promotion comes from human sources. They believe the right alliance, the right position, and the right display of power will elevate them above others. God dismantles this assumption. Promotion does not come from the east. It does not come from the west. It does not come from the south. The compass points represent every direction a man might look for advancement, influence, or vindication. Every human source of elevation is named and dismissed. The wicked who boast in their horns and speak with a stiff neck are looking in every direction except the one that matters. The verse does not mention the north. This is not an oversight. In the Hebrew understanding of the ancient world, the north carried associations with God's dwelling and divine judgment. The north is left unnamed because the next verse supplies the answer. The direction that matters is not a compass point at all. But God is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. Psalm 75, verse 7. Here is the answer to the missing north. God is the judge. He alone holds the authority to put down one and set up another. This is not a general theological principle floating above history. It is a direct response to the wicked who have been lifting their horns. They believe their own power determines their position, but God declares otherwise. The language is plain and direct. God puts down one, and he sets up another. Both movements belong to him. The man who rises does not rise because he positioned himself correctly. The man who falls does not fall because his enemies were stronger. God governs both outcomes. Daniel declares this same truth to Nebuchadnezzar in Daniel 2, verse 21, stating that God removes kings and sets up kings. Nebuchadnezzar himself experiences this firsthand when God strips him of his reason and his throne until he acknowledges that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men and gives it to whomever he wills. This truth is not comfortable for the proud. The wicked who have been boasting in their horn have built their entire self-understanding on the assumption that their own strength determines their position. God's declaration in this verse removes that foundation. Promotion and demotion belong to God. The wicked have no ground left on which to stand in their pride. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth, shall wring them out and drink them. Psalm 75, verse 8. The image shifts from a throne room to a cup. God holds this cup in his hand. The wine is red and full of mixture, a reference to wine spiced to increase its potency. This is not a cup of blessing. This is a cup of divine wrath, prepared and held by God himself. Waiting for the appointed time, he declared in verse 2. God pours out of the same cup. The wicked of the earth will drink it. Not some of them, but all of them. And they will not just taste it. They will drink the dregs, the thick sediment that settles at the bottom of the vessel, the most concentrated and bitter portion of the whole. Nothing is left behind. The wicked who lift their horns and speak with a stiff neck receive the full measure of what God has prepared.